Howdy, y'all. We got some Kenny Chesney today. It's been a long time. The song is called Take Her Home, and this is part of my reaction.
Yeah. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Kenny Chesney, take her home.
Take her home. This is like, Kenny Chesney's just like, when you talk about country music, man. Like,
Legend.
Hey, he's one of the big ones of our time, dude. Kind of went, yeah, he kind of, I remember years and years ago, like he had that big tour, is going to be his final tour. Mm-hmm. And it seems like I haven't really heard anything really from him since then. I've seen him on some like award shows singing. I guess he showed a song on here from 2 years ago that he had released.
I mean, he's made himself one of those names where you can't think country music and not think Kenny Chesney.
No, very, very big. Yeah, I mean, very big. Like there's, 5 or 6 or 7 artists over the past, 20 years that are just like significant artists for country music. And he's one of them. Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Huge arena tours. I mean, just a huge, huge artist. And so I'm actually very excited. I wasn't, with that said, I wasn't like the hugest Kenny Chesney fan, right? Like at the time that he was the biggest, I wasn't really into the country music quite as much as I am now. I definitely liked country, but I feel like this is a great time for him to come back. Apparently he's coming out with an album in March.
Ooh, nice.
He's going to go on a world tour supposedly, which is what I read. And I actually think this is a great time for him because I think country music really has had an insurgence over the past couple years.
For sure.
So we've seen a lot of young people. In fact, it finally overtook, I think, on streaming that country is the biggest one of the, because it used to be hip hop and rap.
Yeah.
Country music is now like the fastest growing new thing. And I think there's a lot of artists you could say was the reason for that.
For sure.
But if you're alive and you're around and you're capable, like it is a good time to come back and be a part of the scene again. And I think that's maybe what this is. I hope it is. Right.
All righty.
So Take Her Home. Enough said. I think we know what this is going to be about.
Love song.
And I'm excited to hear his voice again, dude. I am.
Yeah, let's do it.
Just love it. The old truck, the girl, the guy with the baseball hat.
Downtown looks like it's New Year's Eve. You find some bar you can halfway breathe. Touch tune, some old deep cut cheap trick. Got your girl singing every word of it, so you bring a couple shots of chilled Patron to the prettiest thing that you ever hit on. And somehow she ain't got a boyfriend, so you make her laugh all night and then take her home.
I thought he said take her home.
Load up above that he set one down into your arms. Put a chain around your raised hell heart. You're trying to play it cool walking through the door, but you're smiling like a fool cause you can't wait for them down the road. Memories you're bound to make, and you will one day take her home.
Okay. Listen, like we were just talking about new artists coming through, right? Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of them that I love them. I'm saying some of this new, like kind of traditional country stuff that's coming out is so good.
Oh yeah.
When you hear their voices, you're always like, man, that just sounds so country. It sounds like the country that you want to hear. Kenny Chesney's voice is country. You know what I'm saying? Like they sound like what you want, like traditional country, but like Kenny Chesney has one of those voices like George Strait has.
Yeah, he has that country voice that we kind of grew up on.
Yeah, you recognize it is what I'm trying to say, right? Like you can pick out George Strait.
Oh yeah.
What's that dude's name?
Alan Jackson, bro.
Like those guys, like you hear them and they're very distinct. They don't blend with the crowd. And so just kind of when he first started singing, you're just like, man, it just feels like, when you like remember Christmas Day back in the day, it's like, I just remember, this is what I remember about Christmas. Like this is what I remember about country
music. Yeah.
In that time period, like his voice is so. It's just a great voice.
And like you said with the resurgence earlier, like I love that people like Kenny Chesney and even new artists coming out, they're all kind of going back to this style of country music. Yeah. And there isn't as much pop country.
Yeah, it's the pre-pop country era. And I'm not saying that like he doesn't have pop elements or any of that kind of stuff. But
and not to say there isn't artists that are really big that are still doing that.
Oh, they are 100%.
But I like the direction that a lot of these artists and the old artists bringing stuff out. It aren't changing the ways.
Dude, it has all the twang. It has the drum beats that sound right, the guitars that sound right. They're not throwing in like hip hop beats. They're not trying to like rap in their country.
It's
just
true to
traditional like 90s to early 2000s country, you know what I'm saying? And I just think that
that's
people
what I love.
crave that shit.
That's what I love.
You know? Yeah, it's awesome, dude. I'm actually really liking this, man. I think the
good.
videos, you're generic. Like, let's be real. You're in a truck. You're with a lady.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you got the fucking hat. She's cute. You know, you're sitting in there like, I want to take you home with me. You know, it's what it is, dude.
I like that when the chorus came in. He's like, and the first girl you hit on, and you take her home.
Yeah, I thought he said pecker.
Oh, pecker.
I thought he said, because he's like take her, but it sounded like pecker home. I'm like, pecker. We're talking about peckers now? No.
That's the first move, though. You just take her home.
Just take her home, dude.
Yeah.
It's a good band. Take her home.
Gassed up truck sitting in the driveway. In the back, there's a black and a pink suitcase. She can't
just
stop
married.
saying she's freaking out. You say, baby, you ain't got nothing to worry about. Then you hold her hand, kiss her one time, throw it in drive, and take her home. They fall in love. Thank the good Lord up above that He sent one down into your arms. Put a chain around your raised hell heart. You're trying to play it cool walking through the door, but you're smiling like a fool cause you can't wait for them down the road. Memories you're bound to make, and you will one day take her home.
Yeah. Dude, I really like how uncorrupted this music is.
Yeah.
It's
Take her home.
stuff that people can relate to, feel good about it.
Sometimes God draws life like a dream. Paints you a 7-pound, 5-ounce scene in a car seat creeping down the interstate. Two young lovers that are scared to death,
Been
but
there.
still can't wait to take her home. Fall in love.
I like that.
Thank the good Lord
Yeah.
up above that He sent one down into your arms.
Or gave me chills on
Put a
it.
chain around your raised hell heart. You try to play it cool walking through the door, but you're smiling like a fool cause you can't wait for them down the road. Memories you're bound to make, and you will one day take her home.
Good.
Take her home.
Yeah, dude. Hey, you know, country.
Chesney, man.
I know. It's one of those things that, like, you know, where we were at, we were in the Pacific Northwest growing up, you know,
Yeah.
and like obviously country's popular, but I did not grow up like my mother. My dad was more of a metal guy. My mom was more of an Amy Grant. Fucking, you know, I just didn't grow up with country around a lot.
I did. It was country and classic rock.
Okay, that's cool. Classic rock mostly for me. My grandpa was more. He had a 8-track player still, dude. He listened to the old.
Yeah,
stuff.
I grew up mostly around my dad and my aunt.
Mm.
So my aunt was exclusive country. My dad was exclusive AC/DC,
Okay,
Def Leppard.
I get you.
You know,
I think what's
Ozzy
cool
Osbourne.
about country though is that it really is like it's one of those things that like at some point in your life it will click for you differently.
Yeah.
Because when you're younger and you listen to these songs, you're like, yeah, it's cool, man. Yeah, whatever, dude. You know, it's just, it is what it is. But a lot of these songs are about life and the progression of life and having children, and having marriages, the troubles you have. And so that's where I think country really, I understand you love it all, but when you get to like in your 20s or you have a wife, that's when
it hits you different.
It hits you differently. And there's a lot of songs that I listened to a long time ago that I revisit. And I'll get choked up on something because I'm like, man, I have children now. I have a family
You
now.
may have liked the song before, but now that you've lived life through and had your different experiences, things relate to you differently.
Yeah, just like when he was in there, you said you got goosebumps, and I felt it too there. Like when he's changed that take her home was them taking their child home.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff, it really like puts you right back in that moment of like, man, I remember when we took our first kid home and how we were unprepared and we thought we were unprepared and we were scared and we were like, how are we going to do this? Holy shit.
Yeah. And I like, and not only like the heartstring and memory that it pulls, that's good songwriting.
It is good songwriting. Yeah.
Like to be able to tell a story and like have your hook and have it relate in different ways throughout the song. That's genius.
Yeah, it's good, man. I was kind of saying it during the thing. It's just like, I really appreciate, and I think why country stands up is that some country can be corrupted, but like as a whole package, like country is really about like true speaking stuff, you know, life events, being honest. Now, I'm not talking about the grab a beer on my trailer, fucking do it, you know, like that bullshit. I'm saying a lot of country is very mature, and it's not fucking ass shaking. It's stuff that your kids can listen to with you. And I think that's why people really tend to flock towards it, because it's just wholesome. A lot of it's mostly wholesome music, man.
Yeah, love it.
So Kenny, I'm so glad to see him back, dude.
He's still a legend.
Oh, it still sounds great. Looks great. Like the guy is taking care of himself, man. I'm very excited for the, you know, kind of hearing more music from Kenny Chesney, and that's a great song, Take Her Home. So if you guys like what we do, make sure you follow, like, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell. Leave a comment, man. Are you guys excited to get Kenny Chesney, some new music from him, maybe a possible tour coming up? Let us know what you think. But what else, dude?
If you want to help out even further, head over to Patreon, $2 a month. You get to see everything we don't get to put up here. You also get to make a request for any song or any video you want, and we'll do a reaction to it.
We love doing it. So Kenny Chesney, Take Her Home. Awesome, awesome song.